Hi everyone, my name is Lindsay Gales, and today I'm going to talk about across-venue learning. So, I actually pulled up a little bit of what I did when I was teaching from home in 2020 as a long-term substitute, I might add. I actually utilized Google Classroom, and I have to say Google Classroom was a savior. Unfortunately, I didn't use it before the shutdown, so I had to teach myself and my students over the computer how to how to understand everything in the Google Classroom, but um, nothing better than immersive learning, am I right? So we ended up uh, we ended up posting these schedules. So here's an example. So I would write these. I can't see my cursor here. Where's my cursor? There we go. I would write these little messages to my students, and I would have um, different live meets where I'd assign students to come in and they would have to meet with me on Google Meet. And this was the schedule they worked off of. So all of the links are put in here, what they need to do, what the assignment was. Yeah, so it actually helped a lot. I put all the passwords in here so students would all actively be able to work off of this. And that's how they completed their work from home, and then everything directly linked to me. So in the stream, I was able, I posted many read aloud videos of myself. I posted different little messages and reminders to all of my students, and of course, uh, they they would submit to me, and that's a beautiful thing about Google Classroom. I was able to grade and provide direct feedback to the student. Honestly, teaching from home, teaching hybrid, teaching in person, they all have their perks and they all have their difficulties. And the one difficulty is having students that have the access to what you need. So I did have some students that just did not have the Wi-Fi capabilities, and that was above, our school district to provide. So I will say this platform was a lifesaver. It was something that the students picked up very quickly. I had fourth graders, so I was very lucky. Students were able to pick up the technology pretty quick. And they were given reminders when things were due. And I was able, three of my students from that class are still enrolled in this classroom. So, anyways, that's a little taste of that. Now, since then, I have taken a lot of the things I've learned and adapted. So, like, I actually offer some of my parent-teacher conferences through Google Meets now because I really enjoyed having. I just enjoyed the program of Google Meets. I also became more familiar with. I think they're the breakout rooms. Those are also very nice. So you can have your students. You can actually sort them into different rooms just by clicking another button, and they appear, and you can pop into them. So that's another way that you can teach when you have students in multiple different areas. The year that I came back, I had a student that opted to be home the entire year. So while all of my students were in person with me, I had to teach him from home. So I would have him, he would video into our class a lot of the time. And I would even include him when we were having classroom parties. He would opt in to classroom parties and he would be on the video. So I had to do it for a whole year of trying to sink in. And again, it is difficult, but there's so many new features now that websites, for example, Tang Math is one of them, have done. So Tang Math actually took. They used to be kind of a tutoring help website where kind of like what's that called? Kang Academy? Kang? I think it's called Kang. Khan Academy. It's kind of like Khan Academy where they would come up with little like tutoring videos, but because of the shutdown, they actually created this entire scope and sequence and curriculum out of it. And now this is something that I would have loved to have when I was working from home. So I'm actually able, of course, my computer is not responding right now. One quick second. Okay, my computer wasn't responding. Sorry about that. So the beautiful thing about this, as long as I have my login, as long as I can access the computer, I can host the Google Meet, share my screen, and the beautiful thing about this is the lesson presents itself as slideshows. Okay, and I'm able to click and walk through. So I can literally, as I click, the step highlights, and I can walk through this with my class. And I can have my class do this with me. And I actually do this in person right now. I mean, this is the whole website that I'm using for my project. And they have paper versions that I've created of these 10 frames, and they are following along. So this is totally something that you could have them do at home. Again, I made these all on Google Slides as well. All of my manipulatives are on Google Slides. So I could copy and paste them into a slide and send them to them, and they have the printout and they can manipulate it as we go. So this is something that I really wish that I had. Another thing that I learned this year, which is beautiful, IXL is something that we utilize quite a lot. There's different features here. Now I used to just know, oh yeah, so there's math, and you can go to second grade math and you get your list of all the different skills, and I can assign the skill that I want my students to know. What I did not realize is they have skill plans. So clicking on skill plans, going to textbooks, they actually have textbooks here. So we are using the program Wit and Wisdom. So I'm going to go to second grade here, pull it up for all of you to see. Okay, Wit and Wisdom. This is exactly my manual. I can assign my students. So, for example, if we're working on lessons 1 through 3, here's review of everything we talked about in that lesson. So it's beautiful, and this really changes the game for substitutes as well, I must say. So there's a lot of good that came from just being forced to change your approach to teaching. So a lot of curriculums are taking they're taking all of their features and textbooks and putting them online so that you can easily access them, not just from paper, because that was the hardest part of working from home, especially math. Math was so hard to teach online because math can be very difficult to create certain questions with keys. So anyways, that's a Pinterest thing for you. Anyways, that was a little taste of some of the things that I utilize. One more feature real quick. My school district uses Clever as well. So this is beautiful. It's kind of like a dashboard, and I can pin different websites to this. So as long as my students have the login information for our Clever account, they can access IXL, iReady, GoNoodle, Mystery Science, Extra Math, all from here. So I personally, in my classroom, I can post, because I have my own little room, but this is the district's favorites. So anyways, that was a little bit of teaching across venues in a nutshell. So have a wonderful day. Hope you learned a little bit of something. Bye.